If you're crushing garlic into warm olive oil before bed, I need you to stop. Not because the combination is wrong. It's one of the most powerful things you can take after 60, but because of what heat does to the one enzyme that makes garlic medicinal. 60 seconds, that's all it takes to destroy it completely, and that's only the third most dangerous mistake on this list. 5 mistakes, least harmful to most dangerous. And mistake number 1 has nothing to do with the kitchen. It's about something in your medicine cabinet. And for anyone over 60 on common medications, that one you cannot afford to miss. Garlic has one compound behind nearly every benefit you've heard about, allicin. But allicin is fragile. Destroy it, and you're left with nothing but taste. Here's how most people are destroying it. Over 7,000 people, all between 55 and 80 years old. One group saw roughly a 30% drop in heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular death. The difference wasn't a drug, wasn't a procedure. It was a specific type of oil, and if the bottle in your cupboard doesn't match what the study used, you're getting none of that protection. That study was Predvoin, one of the largest heart trials ever conducted in Europe. And the benefit didn't come from the fat in olive oil. It came from polyphenols, tiny plant compounds that protect the inner lining of your arteries, help your body produce nitric oxide, and lower blood pressure by relaxing the vessel walls. Polyphenols are the medicine. The fat is just the vehicle. Now here's the problem. Refined olive oil, the bottle's labeled pure, light, or simply olive oil without the word virgin, has had those polyphenols stripped out during processing. A direct laboratory comparison found that extra virgin olive oil contained nearly 7 times more polyphenols than its refined counterpart. 7 times. The refined oil may look similar. It may even taste similar to someone who isn't paying attention. But the compounds the Predimed study was actually measuring, they've been processed out before the bottle reached the shelf. 3 things to check before you use the oil you have at home. The label must say extra virgin. The bottle should be dark glass, not clear, not plastic, because light degrades polyphenols on the shelf. And there's a test you can do right now that tells you more than the label. Take a small sip. If you feel a peppery bite at the back of your throat, almost like a gentle cough, those are the polyphenols. No bite, no benefit. Now, most people here take garlic for your heart and assume the simplest method is best. Peel a clove, swallow it whole like a tablet. Skip the taste, skip the breath, still get the benefit. That's entirely wrong, and I didn't properly understand why myself until I sat with the chemistry. Allicin, the compound responsible for garlic's cardiovascular, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory effects. It doesn't exist inside an intact clove. It has to be created. Inside every garlic cell, 2 chemicals sit in separate compartments. An amino acid called allicin in one, an enzyme called allinase in the other. When you crush, chop, or chew the clove, the cell walls break, those 2 chemicals meet, and allicin forms within seconds. Swallow a whole clove, and the compartments stay sealed. The stomach acid then destroys allicin before any reaction can begin. The clove passes through your digestive system largely intact. The cellulose shell is indigestible, and you absorb almost nothing useful. A garlic clove swallowed whole is, medicinally speaking, an empty capsule. So the method matters. Crush the clove, press it with the flat of a knife, mince it, use a press, whatever suits you. But then comes the step most people skip entirely. You wait 10 minutes, set the crushed garlic on the board and walk away. That window allows allicin production to peak. Research has demonstrated that crushed garlic left to stand for 10 minutes before being heated retained significant medicinal activity. Garlic used immediately before heating retained almost none. Crush, wait, then use. That sequence is everything. There's a number behind this next mistake that stopped me when I first read the study. Let me just give it to you. 60 seconds. That's how long it takes a microwave to eliminate virtually all allicin's activity in crushed garlic. Published by Song and Milner in the Journal of Nutrition in 2001, and the finding still stands over 2 decades later. 30 seconds of microwaving destroyed 90%. The full minute wiped out nearly everything. 45 minutes of oven heating did the same. And across all cooking methods, 99% of allicin is lost during frying. Once that enzyme is gone, the cascade of beneficial compounds simply cannot form. You've got garlic-flavored oil, nothing more. Here's the part that catches people. Many of you are warming the olive oil first, then dropping the garlic in. That feels right. It smells wonderful. The kitchen fills with that rich golden scent and you think this must be working. But if that oil is above 60 degrees Celsius, 140 Fahrenheit, barely warm to the touch, you've already crossed the threshold. The enzyme denatures on contact with heat. The allicin that should have formed won't form, not partially, completely. The method that preserves everything is disarmingly simple. Crush the garlic, wait 10 minutes, add it to room temperature extra virgin olive oil, Let it infuse gently for 10 to 15 minutes. No pan, no stovetop, no microwave. That's how traditional Mediterranean kitchens have prepared it for centuries, long before anyone could explain why it worked. If you'd like to revisit any of these, I've laid out all 5 with timestamps in the comment section below. I'm curious, what's your method been? Raw and crushed or cooked into a meal? I genuinely like to hear, because the answer changes what you've actually been getting from it. Now, this is where we move from wasted effort into something that causes real physical discomfort, particularly after 60. Raw crushed garlic, empty stomach, first thing in the morning. I understand why people do this. You read somewhere that taking supplements before food maximizes absorption. For certain things, that's true. Garlic is not one of them. Allicin and its related sulfur compounds are potent irritants to the gastric mucosa, the lining of your stomach. A study using an endoscopic delivery system, the researchers could observe the stomach wall in real time, found that raw garlic powder caused severe mucosal damage, not mild redness, erosion, visible tissue loss. After 60, your stomach lining is thinner than it was at 40. It produces less protective mucus. It heals more slowly when damaged. Taking raw garlic compounds on an empty stomach at that age isn't bravery. It's asking the weakest version of your stomach lining to absorb the strongest version of the irritant. The burning you felt, the nausea that rolls in 20 minutes later, the reflux that wakes you at 2 in the morning, that isn't sensitivity. That's tissue responding to injury. The solution is simple. Always take your garlic and olive oil with food or immediately after a meal. The food acts as a physical barrier between the garlic compounds and your stomach wall. Some people stir half a teaspoon of raw honey into the mixture. Honey has well-documented gastroprotective properties, and that does seem to ease things further. But food is the foundation. Always. If you've experienced that burning after garlic on an empty stomach, how long did it go on? Leave a note below. Your experience might spare someone else a difficult week. Put the garlic down for a moment. This last one isn't about the kitchen. I nearly left this section out, not because it isn't true, but because I know how it sounds when someone on the internet tells you to talk to your doctor. But this one genuinely warrants it. Everything I share here is drawn from peer-reviewed research, but I'm not your physician. I don't know your medications, your medical history, or your particular circumstances. And what I'm about to describe is precisely the sort of information that warrants a direct conversation with someone who does. If you're on blood-thinning medication, warfarin, aspirin therapy, clopidogrel, garlic's allicin has a documented antiplatelet effect. It reduces how efficiently your platelets clump together to form clots. On its own, that's actually one of garlic's cardiovascular benefits, a mild, natural blood-thinning action. But layered on top of medication already doing the same job, the combined effect can push you past the safety margin. This isn't theoretical. A case report published in 2016 described a patient who underwent spinal surgery with excessive unexplained intraoperative bleeding. No blood-thinning medications on record, but the patient had been consuming roughly 12 grams of garlic daily, about 4 large cloves in the days leading up to the procedure. The surgical team required clotting agents to bring the bleeding under control. That was one case. You might call it unusual, but then there was another. A 65-year-old man, significant bleeding after a routine urological procedure. His only supplement, garlic extract, no other medications, nothing else in his history to explain it. And a systematic review from Baylor University Medical Center examined the full body of evidence and concluded that garlic supplementation is, their words, strongly associated with surgical bleeding, independent of other anticoagulants. I'm not telling you to stop using garlic. This combination, prepared correctly, is genuinely valuable. What I'm telling you is that if you take blood thinners, or you have any procedure scheduled in the coming weeks, your doctor needs to know exactly how much garlic you're consuming and in what form. Raw garlic infused in cold olive oil is not the same as a clove tossed into a pan of pasta. The allicin concentration is considerably higher, and the interaction is real. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned, and this ties everything together, 2 to 3 cloves of fresh garlic, firm, no green sprout in the center. That sprout matters more than most people realize. When a clove begins sprouting, it's all iron content. The precursor to allicin drops measurably. If half your cloves have green shoots running through the middle, you're starting with a weaker compound before you've even crushed them. Firm, white, sprout-free. That's what you want. Peel them, crush each one with the flat of a knife, set them on the board, wait 10 full minutes. While you wait, pour 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil into a small glass, not plastic, not metal. After the 10 minutes, drop the crushed garlic into the oil. Let it sit at room temperature for another 10 to 15 minutes. 1 teaspoon with your evening meal, not before food, with food. Store the remainder in a sealed dark container, in a cool cupboard, away from the counter, away from light and heat. Make a fresh batch every 5 to 7 days. The polyphenols degrade with light and air exposure, and allicin breaks down over time regardless of storage. Small batches used quickly. That's the rhythm this combination was designed for. Most people think garlic's work ends in the bloodstream. It doesn't. What it does once it reaches your gut, particularly to one bacterium that most people over 60 carry without ever knowing it's there, is a different story entirely, and the research on that is rather striking.